Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to some more of the 2004 alternate universe. Now, we have races 4, 5, and 6 on the season, Atlanta, Darlington, and Bristol. Here, let's take a look. Trying to remember what lineups to use, if just skip or accelerate. Let's accelerate, see what we get. This is gonna work. Accelerate up. Alright, let's take a look at your field of 42 here tonight at Atlanta. So we've got Dale Jarrett, Kurt Busch, Jimmie Johnson, Kasey Kahne, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeremy Mayfield, then RCR cars of Sauter and Robbie Gordon. And we have Mears and Rudd, Jeff Gordon, points leader Elliott Sadler, Kenseth Vickers, Newman Labonte, 6 of Mark Martin, and finding sponsorship with SunTrust for these next couple races is John Andretti. So after the one car did not make it out to Las Vegas, they are back here at Atlanta. We have Rusty Wallace, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, who's having a terrible season so far, down in the 30s in the points, and then Jamie McMurray, Jeff Burton, Ward Burton, and MB2 teammates in Nemechek and Riggs, Waltrip, Gone, Labonte, Craven, Marlin, Biffle. Biffle's doing poor this season. Then we have Wimmer, Petty, Schrader, Green, Dave Blaney. I believe this is Cope, yes. Then Todd Bodine in the 98. That's a new debut for that team. Then outside Andy Hillenberg. Then LePage and Shelmerdine round out the field. There's your command for the field of 42 to fire the engines here tonight in the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. These guys are going to run fast, these guys are going to run hard, and we're going to have pit stops for the end of tonight's action. 1.524 mile oval with high banks in the corners. First, the 3 quad ovals on the schedule. We got Charlotte in Texas as well. Or I should say Lowe's in Texas. But commemorating Arnold Palmer on the hood of the 88, Dale Jarrett, with Kurt Busch who's outside, brings them to the green. The Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500 is green. Already Jarrett got a better start than Kurt Busch did. Kasey Kahne, the rookie, up to his inside. And with a big push from the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Two work together here on the bottom. Maybe we try and mount a challenge on the 88. No, Kahne moves up, and Jr. now pushing to the inside with rookie Johnny Sauter right up there. Sauter doesn't have rookie stripes for some reason. But Mayfield thought about making a look underneath Johnson. These two were the 2 dominant cars in Speed Weeks, with Johnson winning the Budweiser Shootout and Mayfield winning the Daytona 500. Here comes Junior now, again looking underneath Kahne for second in the corner. Can't quite get it off. And there's Kurt Busch now. He's going to have Jimmie Johnson underneath him. Johnson, a big run. Jimmie Johnson thought about 3 wide underneath Dale Earnhardt Jr. Couldn't get there. But Johnson still trying to work on 4th now as Jr. can't clear Kahne. And Johnson cleared Jr. for 3rd. Doesn't have it into the corner. And now Sauter trying to get by Kurt Busch. Casey Mears up to 6th. 7th, excuse me. And now Mayfield trying to hold off points leader Elliott Sadler, who's really worked his way up here on the inside. But up at the front, it's still Dale Jarrett leading them over Kasey Kahne, and Johnson's up to 3rd over Earnhardt Jr. Kurt Busch has held off Sauter for now. We could see another look out of the 30s. Here comes Johnson on Kasey Kahne. Jimmy Johnson, the Hendrick engine versus the Evernham engine. These two side by side, two of the top teams right up here. And arguably one of the better Chevy teams in DEIs here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. now trying to move his way again underneath Kane. But Kane still fights hard on the high side. Johnson yet to clear the number 9 as here comes a big run. Kurt Busch going to prevent Jr. from making a look on Kane, but Busch has a bad 1 and 2. And Jr. still going to hold that spot. Now Johnson thought about a look off turn 2 on Dale Jarrett. And Jimmy Johnson steal the lead from the 1999 champion. As Sauter itching to get by the 97 once again off 4, but here comes Jr. underneath Kane, and now Johnson for the lead underneath Dale Jarrett. Side by side at the front. Give it to the 48. Jimmy Johnson will lead here at Atlanta over Jarrett. Dale Earnhardt Jr. up to 3rd as Kane slips to 4th. 197 miles an hour is the average speed as they go fast around this 1.5 mile track. Now Sauter could have his hands full with the charging Jeremy Mayfield right behind him. The 19 car and its red and green trim. Won the Daytona 500. He's in the top 5 in points, trying to keep that now, as he could gain on Elliott Sadler, who's back there in 10th. But Sadler needs this top 10 if he wants to keep his around 30-point lead. But he drifts up in 1 and 2. Here comes Matt Kenseth with a possible look. Kenseth in an all-black scheme as here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. for 2nd underneath Dale Jarrett. The 88 and the 8 battle it out in 3 and 4. Off the corner, who's going to have the run? Jarrett has one up high. Kane looking underneath. Casey Kane going to try and force 3 wide. Kurt Busch a big lunge. But he's too far back. The 8 has not cleared Dale Jarrett just yet. And he does it into the corner, but now he has to block a big run from Kane. Kane now all over the back as a huge train of cars here. All of them, all in a line. Now Mayfield looking underneath Sauter. Sadler underneath Vickers, that's for 9th. Now Kane and Jr. have gotten past that 88. But Kurt is going to slide up high. It's going to allow Mayfield maybe to come through. Going to get close, maybe in a little bit of touch to the back of the 97, but Mayfield backs off. They're 3 wide back here. Sauter, Mears, and Sadler. Sadler backs out of it. He needs to run a little bit more conservative than everybody else because he wants a good points gap early. He needs that cushion. Kane still closing in on the 8. Will we see a look from the rookie? We shall see. Now Mears trying to sneak up into 7th. Sadler in the 8th now. If he can clear the 30 of Johnny Sauter. Sauter comes from a racing family. His brother Jay and Tim are still down in the Busch Series. And his father Jim as well races short tracks in the Midwest. Gordon and Newman just outside the top 10. They're side by side. Jamie McMurray as well. And the 42 is up here. So Mears and McMurray, 2 Chip Ganassi Dodges, having good run so far. 2003, like I mentioned yesterday, was a downturn for Chip Ganassi. Maybe this year it can be better. We look up to the front. Kane was unable to make a pass on Jr. It's going to cost him as now Dale Jarrett, the veteran, underneath the rookie Kane, side by side off of turn number 2. Here they come down the back straightaway. Kenseth working on Vickers back there as well. Or is it going to be Chevy Ford or Chevy Dodge in the top 3? They're still close. Mayfield maybe even fixing a run on the 97, but it's still close. And here comes Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, a big run, trying to make it 3 wide. Jarrett really didn't carry the speed into the corner. Kane's going to clear the 88. And now Dale has to have his hands full with the 97 of Busch. Kane clearing for good. Matt Kenseth way up the track. He's going to fall to 10th. If Vickers can get by him on the inside. But here comes Kurt Busch. Is he going to have a run on Jarrett? No, Mayfield nearly getting into the grass in the quad oval, trying to get by that 97 for the final spot in the top 5, 5th place. But out front, Jimmy Johnson has nearly opened a second lead over Dale Earnhardt Jr. Who's got the fastest lap so far? It makes sense for it to be Jimmy Johnson, and he has it here. Becomes a start lap 17 of 49. Johnson has it at 27.349. That is a whole 10th of a second quicker than anyone else. Getting back, Mayfield in the 5th, Busch down to 6th, but then it's a big logjam here with Sadler trying to get by Mears. Then Vickers all over the back of the 38. Into 3 and 4, Sadler getting the push, but I don't think he can sling Mears just yet. But Vickers drifting up. Could this allow Newman to get underneath him? Newman way down there into the corner, and yes, Newman trying to work on Vickers for 9th. Mears has cleared Sadler. Now Kane back up to the back of that 8 car. Here comes Casey Kane into 3, trying to get by the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Through 3 and 4, give that position to Kane. No contest that time from Jr., but Jr.'s thinking about a crossover, and he's going to do it. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. back on Kane. Now, 1 and 2, who's going to have the better car? So far, it's Kane. So far, it's Kane, and he carried the momentum, but on corner exit, he just doesn't have it. The 8's still there on the inside. 3 wide back here. Sauter trying to figure out who's going to go 3 wide with. Is he going to go with his teammate Gordon, or is he going to go with the other Gordon and Jeff Gordon? But he's going to stick to the middle. Now Kane has cleared Dale Jr., but now Jr.'s going to have his hands full as here comes the other Dale, Dale Jarrett, underneath the 8. It's kind of confusing up here at the front. A lot of similar cars and similar names. Our pole sitter, Dale Jarrett's not going to get by the 8 of Jr. Maybe with the late look into the corner, but no. Earnhardt will slam the door on Jarrett. Mayfield still sitting in 5th, and now gap growing ever further. It's 1.8 seconds for 48 of Jimmy Johnson. No threat of lap cars so far. And everyone at the front still single file. Jarrett now trying to take another look underneath the 8. Will he be able to do it? Off at 2. They're close. Get a flyby here. Looks like Kurt's going to get underneath the 19 of Mayfield. Doesn't really have the momentum. They're side by side throughout this pack now. And coming across. Jarrett beat Earnhardt to the stripe. Mayfield thought about a look. Can't do it. 11 years later, it's a new version of the Dale and Dale show. Here, Mayfield, who's he going to help? Mayfield maybe even thinking about a look up the middle of these two, but gets squeezed, can't do it. And Mears now trying to break into this fight in 7th. Kenseth trying to sneak into the top 10. Vickers now down to 11th, but up high now is the 8 car. Busch, Kurt Busch underneath Mayfield. It's 3 wide. Jarrett clears them now. Kind of finally, they're both together. And now Mayfield up to 4th. And Earnhardt Jr. going to continue to lose spots now as Kurt Busch getting a big shove from the 41. Will Busch clear up the corner? Jr. has the run up high. Side by side, but pit stops are only a lap or 2 away. As Johnson has opened up to almost a 3-second lead now in his Lowe's Chevy. These guys running side by side. That could hurt people's pitch strategy as people who are up on that outside line, they might have to wait an extra lap before they come down. Any takers yet? Not looking like it. Kenseth now underneath Mears, who waited too long to make a look on Junior. Newman up high, Vickers down low for 10th. Now Sadler has slid out of the top 10. Robbie Gordon still just a little bit off this battle, but he's still up there. And now, are we going to see people coming down? Not yet. I forget the exact lap they're going to start, but it's soon. As we are past halfway, average speed has started to drop. So yes, guys are slowing down as these tires wear out around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Casey Kane comfortably in second. They ride the bottom here. Newman. Now it's going to be 4 cars battling it out for the final spot in the top 10. Newman. However, Gordon really wasn't there. I thought he was there off turn 4, but now he's really not. As trying to get 12th from Elliott Sadler's Robbie Gordon. The two Gordons running strong by each other. And now Kenseth trying to get underneath Earnhardt Jr. through 3. It's not quite there. These lines are on the track getting lower and lower as Atlanta's definitely a multi-groove track. Junior now underneath Kurt Busch. This is for the 5th place position on track. The corner, Kenseth not really helping his teammate. Junior's going to clear Busch. Now Kenseth's trying to get by Busch. 1797. Not really helping each other, but early in the season. Vickers now trying to get 8th place from Casey Mears. There's the new kid on the block for Hendrick, Ricky Hendricks. Hand-picked talent as Kenseth all over the back of the 8. Kenseth's gonna dive down, and looks like we have pit stops. The Evernham boys coming in. The 9, the 19 is Johnson. Jimmy Johnson is Johnson, Kane, Mayfield, Kenseth, Kurt Busch, Vickers, Robbie Gordon, McMurray, and basically the second half of the field. Most of them coming down this time, and pit road is going to be busy these next couple laps. Now here comes Dale Jarrett. Jarrett gonna stay out an extra lap, it looks like it. No, not quite. The cars did not spit the flame out. Now here comes Mears, Newman, and looks like to be everyone else. And this is when it's going to get busy, busy, busy here on pit road as guys try to find their spot in line. And no one has stayed out, so everyone has come down these last 2 laps. And now guys will have to cut across other guys trying to get to their pit boxes. It looks like coming out, Johnson with an easy lead. Mayfield actually going to get by his teammate, Casey Kane. So Mayfield having a good stop. Kenseth having a good stop. Jeff Burton having a good stop. McMurray. Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch just has lost his top 5 spot as he's back here with Wimmer and Nemechek. There's Schrader. Vickers has a bad stop. Guys must be taking 2 tires. Maybe these guys took 4. And Robbie Gordon and Johnny Sauter back here. There's John Andretti. And mainly the back markers. Elliott Sadler. Sadler must have had issues on his stop, or something was wrong with that 38, because he's down now like 40th coming across the stripe. There's Johnson. Johnson's going to cycle out into the race lead, and Sadler's going to be last on the lead lap, it's looking like. And it's Mayfield, Kenseth, Kane, Burton, Ryan Newman in the 6th, McMurray, and basically the rest of the top 5. Some of these guys now rounding out the top 10. It's a huge gaggle of cars here as this is from, looks like 8th to 15th. So a group of 7 cars here. Gonna battle it out here toward the end of this thing. Guys like Nemechek and Wimmer not having the best this season, so this is really going to help them. Johnson is just taken off in that 48. He's out to a 5-second lead with a strong stop. Now Jeremy Mayfield's going to have to try and hold off the 17 of Matt Kenseth for third. Kenseth is closing. We're going to go on board with the 17. And give second place to Matt Kenseth. Not without a challenge from the high side of Mayfield, but Kenseth gets it through 3 and 4. Now Mayfield might lose out to teammate Casey Kane. Two running side by side here, but Mayfield's going to clear the 9. Newman, McMurray, Burton all comfortably in their positions, but here on the outskirts of the top 10, it is still a battle. Labonte in the 8th, Junior 9th, and Tony Stewart 10th. Then Dale Jarrett 11th, Casey Mears 12th, then it's Kurt Busch, Joe Nemechek, and 24 of Jeff Gordon, your top 15. Wimmer and Waltrip battling. Then it's Marlin, Ward Burton. Ryan Vickers down to 20th. Rusty Wallace, Steve Rudd, Terry Labonte, Ken Schrader battling. These three longtime veterans of the sport now are relegated outside the top 20. Mark Martin as well having a tough day in his Roush number 6. Jeff Green and Scott Riggs. Then the RCR cars have really fallen off. Sauter and Gordon had some strong starting spots. Harvick was in the back, but now they're 28th, 29th, and 30th. Really tough. It's now Greg Biffle going to take them 3 wide, try and split this bundle of cars up. So Biffle and the RCR cars are just not having a good day here at Atlanta. Then it's LePage and Craven. John Andretti with his new sponsor and SunTrust. Not having them a good day, and basically one of their home races. They're based here out of the South. He's back in 34th, gone 35th, and then Kyle Petty, Kirk Shelmerdine, Elliott Sadler, a 50 to 98, 23, and the 80 has been lapped. So Johnson now, as these laps wind down, could be catching some of these lappers. Probably going to catch Dave Blaney in a lap or so. But now Mayfield now trying to get the second place position back from Rockingham winner Matt Kenseth. All over the back of that 17 is Mayfield. Evernham's won 2 of the 3 races this season. I'm pretty sure unless Johnson gets wrecked, they're not going to win today. Johnson now past Blaney. We'll try and work on the 50 and the 98. Looking back, they've caught Jeff Burton. This group of cars has caught Jeff Burton, and now Earnhardt Jr. going to try and steal 7th from Labonte, but Labonte's going to fight for it. Labonte is good here at Atlanta, but Stewart's there. Is Tony Stewart going to do anything for the 8th place spot? Doesn't look like it just yet. There's still a lot left in this race, just a couple laps. Guys battling it out now. Now Jarrett at risk of falling out of the top 10 if Busch gets there. Kurt Busch, Dale Jarrett, 2 Ford side by side. Mears trying to use these guys battling. Maybe he can get back into the top 10, but it's looking less and less likely as the laps wind down here. Mayfield still has a shot at catching Kenseth for 2nd, but Johnson has just picked through those couple lap cars at the back cleanly. Now sets his sight on what was the points leader, Elliott Sadler, but with a bad stop, he's down in 37th, and it's really going to cost him in the points. Johnson leads. 4 laps left. In the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 400. Back, I don't think Mayfield is close enough to get Kenseth, but watch back. Junior, Labonte, Stewart, and Busch have really spread out from the group of cars that was all together. Now these guys battling outside the top 10. Mears 11th, Waltrip 15th in the 15. Can do one more look through the rest of the field as there's Wall's trying to hold off Mark Martin, but that's outside the top 20 now. A lot of guys having tough days back here. Johnson now working on Sadler. 2 laps left for the California driver of that Lowe's Monte Carlo. Johnson just needs to hang on and not take any risks. We look back. Mayfield lost out because of Andy Hillenberg, and now 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, 5th place might not be set in stone, as here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to work on McMurray. He still has a lap left. McMurray could lose his top 5. But it's the white flag is out. Newman came down pit road. Ryan Newman, he was in the top 10, but he had to pit. Must have had issues. But now, down the back straightaway, one more time. One little flyby at the end. Jimmie Johnson. He won this year's Budweiser Shootout. And now trying to get a points-paying win in 2004. He's going to do it. Off of turn number 4, Jimmie Johnson will win at Atlanta. Coming around. Kenseth 2nd, Mayfield 3rd, Kane 4th. And Junior will steal 5th from McMurray on the final lap. Busch and Casey Mears finishes it out in the top 10 as Newman drops to 42nd, last on track, because he had to come down. Did not get enough fuel in the car on his stop. So that will do it from Hot Atlanta. Although it wasn't hot, it was only 63 degrees here tonight. Yeah, that's going to do it. 204, that's not good. Or save the replay. Take you over to score 4 real quick. For Atlanta. Right, files. Johnson led all the laps outside of Dale Jarrett, who led, I believe, only the first 8. But now, Elliott Sadler will drop 6 places in the standings, and Matt Kenseth takes the points lead after a strong 2nd place run here at Atlanta. He leads it by 25 over Casey Kane. Jeremy Mayfield back up to 3rd. So the Evernham cars running strong. That's Earnhardt Jr., Busch, Johnson, Sadler, Jarrett, Gordon, and Brian Vickers into 10th. Ryan Newman loses 8. He's down to 12th. McMurray up 7. Sauter down 5. And Wimmer up 5. And that's pretty much it. Harvick. Stewart up 7, actually. Stewart's up to 26th. And Harvick is down to 32nd in points. That is very, very rough. But Hope and Kyle Petty have run the full season. They're losing out to John Andretti, who's only made 3 starts. But that's going to do it so far. I'm going to get a quick drink, going to refill my water, and we'll go off to Darlington for the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. right. We have Darlington next. Up it to 3x for this one. Bring it back down to 105. I need to get chat up. Bill Elliott was in the 91. I'm just going off the ratings. I don't know why Gone's sucking, but let's see what accelerated results gets us. This. Yep, alright, there. Really not going to go slow through the starting order, but here it is on the side of your screen as accelerate. Fairly normal, but Harvick's at least going to have a better starting spot this week. And looks like everything else normal. Vickers is going to have to come from behind. He's down there. 37 laps here at Darlington. These drivers are going to have their hands full today. For the spring Darlington 400 miler. The Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. The closest ever finish in NASCAR history happened here just 1 year ago. The same exact race, but now... Uh-oh. I think someone's blown up before the green. Jamie McMurray. McMurray will not make the start as the outside line's kind of out of order. But nonetheless, we are still green at Darlington. Oh, McMurray's going to have to start this from pit road as he did not make it to the green. Engine issues on that car. And let's see who's going to get their Darlington stripe here today. Junior out to an early lead. Gordon second and Harvick third. Johnson losing time on the outside. Looks like the top 5 could all be strung out single file here. Here's Jeff Burton now. Hot Wheels coming aboard that 99 for Darlington. See how he does with new sponsorship. That 99's been struggling for sponsors this whole season. Harvick up the track. Harvick hard into the wall. Junior just tapped it. And we got a new leader in Jeff Gordon. The California kid, Jeff Gordon out to the front. Now Junior's going to have to hold off Bobby Labonte now for second. Harvick's still up high. Tony Stewart could get underneath him and crack into the top 5. But now Burton's going to move up high over teammate Kenseth, and Casey Mears trying to put together another top 10 run, here at Darlington. Burton hard into the outside wall off 2. Blatt's going to catch a ton of guys out today. And he's losing spots, but he doesn't look to be too much damage to that side of that Ford Taurus. Now out in the front. Jeff Gordon still leads. Bobby Labonte second, Dale Earnhardt Jr. third, Jeff Gordon. That's not Jeff Gordon, that's Jimmy Johnson, last week's winner. Up in fourth, Harvick in fifth, and Stewart and Kenseth now battling it out for sixth, and Casey Mears trying to pick off Stewart into the corner. Side by side, 41 and 22 drivers that came over from open wheel racing. Give it to Mears on the lower high line, you could say, as no one really runs the flat on the bottom. Now, Greg Biffle just trying to do the same thing as Harvick and having a rebound run. He's into the top 10, and it's now Terry, last year's Southern 500 winner, up here in 10th. And here comes Kenseth underneath Kevin Harvick for 5th. Clears him, no problem. But we've had a lead change. Bobby Labonte in the number 18. Interstate Batteries Chevrolet out to the front at Darlington. Gordon back to second. And Junior trying to hold off Johnson there for third. We're going to go on board driver the 48. Seems like Johnson just can't quite get there on Junior just yet. May have a runoff for this time. He could. So he thought about it, but he looked too late. But Junior's actually sliding up. He has the door open for Johnson. Johnson's still not there. Maybe even giving a little shot to the back bumper of the red Budweiser car. But now Johnson gonna have his hands full with Kenseth right there in tow of third place. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Mears up to sixth, excuse me, over Harvick. And Biffle, Labonte, Stewart, your top 10. Here comes Labonte on Biffle now. Biffle up the track. Labonte maybe even rub into that side of the 16 as Biffle keeps it off the wall. Luckily that time by. Now we look back. There's Robbie Gordon and Elliott Sadler battling. That is for 13th. Kane in the top 15. Busch there. There's Mayfield. But Burton has fallen. He's down to 18th from a strong starting spot. Sterling Marlin, last car in the top 20. And where is Ricky Craven, the driver who won this race last year? As he's a whole gaggle of cars here. As Vickers hasn't made up much ground from his starting spot. Ricky Craven is doing terrible. He's down in 40th, and he won this race last year. TPI Motorsports is having a rough season this year. And out front, it is still Bobby Labonte, but there's been a change. For third, it's now Johnson now. In the third, Kenseth fourth, Earnhardt down to fifth, but Earnhardt has a good, comfortable cushion back to the 41 of Mears. Now Kenseth going to try and work on Johnson. The third place position. This year, the Southern 500 lost its additional Labor Day spot. Will we see that date return? It depends on how California does later this year. Kenseth now can't get the run on Johnson just quite yet. Simply playing the waiting game on that 48, and there's nothing wrong with that. Kenseth has won at Rockingham and won in Atlanta. Now this track, he did not win at Atlanta, excuse me. Johnson won at Atlanta, but now basically an in-betweener track compared to Rockingham and Atlanta. This track measures 1.366 miles, the granddaddy of the super speedways. Now this track is both in Kenseth and Johnson's wheelhouse compared to length. As we watch the front battle, Jeff Gordon just can't seem to close on the 18. Gonna get a full field flyby here at Darlington as Biffle working underneath Harvick. The stands on the inside of the track back here are full as well. Look back. Junior's comfortable cushion is gone. Here comes Mears trying to get around that 8 car. And Casey Mears get his first career top 5 at Darlington. We're going to go on board the driver of the Target Dodge. Good. And the waiting game's over. You see it on the onboard of the 41. Kenseth going to blow by Jimmy Johnson through 3 and 4. Give Kenseth third place position. As we continue to near the halfway mark of this race. Comes Mears with a strong 1 and 2 on that 8. Just the lap, we see a look from Casey. No, he's going to bump Junior going into the corner saying, hey, get out of my way. But Junior's not going to give this up easy. No one by these twos. It's a whole second back to Labonte, and Labonte has a whole second back to Biffle. Michael Waltrip now into the top 10 as we got a large group of cars up here. Got 2 Roush cars in the 6 and the 97, 2 RCR cars, 2 Evernham cars, and a Yates car. And now Busch trying to get by his teammate Mark Martin for 11th. And Kurt Dude is really slow through 3 and 4 now. The tires are wearing out. And we should see pit stops coming soon. Easily diving it in. Kane's actually going to clear Mark Martin too. That outside's not where you want to be. And now Robbie Gordon trying to get up there. Gordon trying to get about 14th or 13th on track now. As Mears still yet to get around Junior, but the lead 2 are in. The leaders are in. And Kenseth is taken off from Jimmy Johnson. Who else comes in? Waltrip's down. And most of the second half of the field is in as well. So Robbie Gordon's going to peel into his box. Here it's a very slow pit road. 45 speed limit. And let's see what Labonte does. Right sides go on the 18. Right sides go on the 24. Are they going to take 4? Jack slams on the 18. Labonte's taking 4. You need to take 4 here. Tires are all important. But Gordon takes 4 as well. And Labonte's going to get ahead of Gordon by a good margin. Labonte with a good stop as Tony Stewart, the only car left out on track. He needs those 5 bonus points. And he's going to get them here. But now Bobby cycle out probably as the leader. Gordon second. Waltrip. I don't know where he's going to come out compared to everybody else. But now pit lane is getting busy. Who's going to have the good jump off? There's Waltrip, and there's Robbie Gordon. A lot of guys still not cycled through just yet. There's a guy like Mears. Where's he gonna cycle out? Mears actually is gonna get jumped by, it looks like, the 15 of Waltrip. So if you came down those first couple laps, that's where you need to be as John Andretti gets put a lap down. But Labonte's being scored in second. Has Tony not come down yet? There's Stewart coming out now. And he's not going to perfect that massive undercut as... Or will he? I don't know. Has Stewart just completely played the entire field? No. There it is. We finally reset. Now Labonte is your race leader over Jeff Gordon, but he's got a 2-second gap. Then it's good distance back to Matt Kenseth, then Johnson, and Michael Waltrip in 5th. Jeff Burton has fallen dramatically. He is 41st. Then Robbie Gordon in 6th. Casey Mears shown in 7th, but he drops to 9th as Labonte and Earnhardt. Last car in the top 10, Sterling Marlin in the Silver Bullet, handling Dale Jarrett. Guys like Biffle and Mayfield have kind of fallen off. Stewart's now back to 19th, so his strategy of really staying out as long as he could did not work, as Mark Martin underneath Brendan Gaughan. Gaughan's 20th, so I give Gaughan credit. He must have had a good stop. Kevin Harvick has really fallen. He has damage to the side of his 29. He might have been into the wall. Jeff Green hits it hard. A huge hit on the side of the 43 that time. And that's going to leave considerable damage to the side of his Cheerios Dodge. Yeah, that 29's all damaged up. That's why he's back there in 32nd. But it's like Shelmerdine, Barrett, and Ryan Newman as well back here in 37th. But this guy's still on the tail end of the lead lap. But Newman has pace compared to the 94. He's going to move underneath him and take two lappers side by side. Thankfully, that's not going to cause any problem. Barrett's not going to cause any problems with Labonte. He went high through the corner now. Now Gordon. He's closed the gap since stops. Can he close it further? We'll watch this as he's going to go lap John Andretti, who's just had two very poor races coming back in that one. DEI says if there's sponsorship there, they will field it, but Andretti needs to perform, and if Andretti's not performing, that one car might not make it to the rest of the races this season. Labonte leads. The next lap car he has is the 12 of Ryan Newman. As we hit the 9 to go mark in the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. Take a look back at some of the other cars in the top 10. Any of them battling? Yes. Robbie Gordon has lost 6th place to Labonte, and now he's going to fall back to 9th as Mears and Earnhardt Jr. are going to get by him. Dale Jarrett up into 10th. Where is Sterling Marlin gone? He's gone backwards. He's down to 14th. McMurray has fallen out of the race completely with the piston issue. Doesn't look like he ever gotten back out onto the track. But these Evernham boys not doing the best. They're just outside the top 10, 11, and 12. So they're having good days. They're just not up there with DJ and the rest of them. Now Waltrip off the pace up high. Gonna hit the wall. Oh, he does not hit the wall that time off of 2. It looked like he was going to, but does the 15 have damage to the side of the car? Not a whole lot just yet. So he really hasn't hit it hard like we've seen guys they've been doing. But Jeff Gordon looks like he's been held up by maybe Stanton Barrett and John Andretti, because 24 has lost time and the 48's gained time. But now Gordon has 2 lappers in the 1 and the 94 to navigate. Gonna move underneath the 1 by this Barrett. Gonna block. Barrett does, but Johnson hasn't really closed on him just yet, so no harm, no fall. Now Newman trying to put more lappers in between him and Labonte as the 12 car wants to finish on the lead lap, but Labonte at this point, he's just kicking back and relaxing. He's got a good, but now he can't, as now Gordon between. You have not seen that one before because I painted that car last night, that's why. Because this is an alt universe, and I figured I'm going to help DEI out, you know. So, next lap car for the 18 to get by is the 72 of Kirk Shelmerdine. Andy Hillenberg is well up here at 80. Gonna catch 2 of them here at the same time as Labonte's going to move by the 72 into the corner. No questions asked. So Bobby Labonte, a lot of people saw him as maybe this is the point in his career where he'll start falling off, but it doesn't look like it so far, as he is out to a commanding 2.5 second lead, as Gordon has actually lost 2nd place to Jimmy Johnson. Last week's winner, Johnson, trying to prove that he is a factor in these races, as now Jimmy the 48 up to 2nd. Looked off the screen there for a second, but now Labonte's next lapper to deal with is Andy Hillenberg. Hillenberg's going to block the 18 into the corner, but he's still 2 seconds off, but Johnson has shaved a ½ second off, but it's too far late. There's going to be 2 to go next time by. Labonte shouldn't have any issues. Now we look back. Everyone else trying to get by lappers. But a lot of cars off here. Robbie Gordon, Dale Jarrett fighting for the last spot in the top 10. they're not going to have any issues, as Mayfield has fallen out to 14th. Stewart, after being 19th after the pit cycle has made his way up, he's trying to get 12th, maybe an 11th here. He's got the time to do it. But Labonte, granted he keeps it off the wall, is going to have this race won. Johnson continuing to close, but he's going to run out of laps here in the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. No dodges until you get back to 7th in Casey Mears, but then all Chevy top 3 as Bobby Labonte for Joe Gibbs leads Jimmy Johnson by a second so far. There's still a lap car in Andy Hillenberg. Johnson's going to run out of time down the back straightaway for the Interstate Battery. It's 18 of Corpus Christi's own Bobby Labonte rides the dotted white line through 3 and 4 off the corner. Bobby Labonte is going to win in 2004. Labonte wins at Darlington. Johnson second, Gordon third, Kenseth in 4th, Junior 5th, Terry 6th, Mears. And then it's going to be Waltrip, Gordon, and Jarrett the rest of your top 10. There's the orders to the side. And standings are official. Boy, really heartbreak day for Jeff Burton and Ryan Newman. Kevin Harvick, too. Vickers actually gained a ton of spots. He's back there, 19th. Right now, let's get you your points. We always do. The Dodge Dealers. Absent speed. 84 degrees there, Darlington. But let's take a look at our race news and notes. So Labonte leads 30 laps. Gordon led 3. Kenseth Earnhardt Jr. 1. And Stewart led 2 because of the pit cycle. We generate our files on up. Boy, McMurray. Not even listed on the results table. That is rough. I hope it's going to credit him at least with a start. Although he really didn't make it. I don't think he's going to be credited with a start. That's a shame, but that's how the game rolls. He does get a start, but he drops 11 in the standings, and Matt Kenseth holds a lead and gains momentum back to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's now 49 points back. Johnson up to 3rd. Caden Mayfield dropped 2 respectively. Bobby Labonte with this win propels him 13 spots in the standings. He's up to 10th. He's still 187 off. He has the last spot in the chase, only 9 points over Brian Vickers, who didn't lose that much ground. Waltrip up 6, Mears up 8, 2 top 10s for Casey. He's up to 13th. Sauter into the top 15, and Ryan Newman drops 7. McMurray drops 11, like we mentioned, and no other real gains. Arguably the only other real gain is Hillenberg by just even starting, gained 7 spots. That's what your points look like, and now I take a quick break. Myself will head off to Bristol. Lineup, bring it down to 102. They it's really boring. 103 they wreck. I'm just gonna put it on 103, and we're gonna have to live with some crashes. All right. Yeah, we'll take a look at our lineups here today from Bristol. 42, 41 of them can only fit around these high banks as there's not enough pit stalls, but that's whatever. Ryan Newman, he's fallen in the standings so far this year. Now trying to turn it around with the pole position. Then it's Jimmy Johnson who's outside. Then 2 Roush cars, Kenneth and Biffle. Kevin LePage, a shot qualifying run. He's up to 6th. Kane who's inside. Then, oh, excuse me. Jeff Gordon in 9th. 7th, excuse me. And in 8th, the 97, Kurt Busch. Then it's Robbie Gordon, Jeff Green, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick. DEI just outside the top 10 as well. There's Michael Waltrip and John Andretti finally turning it around in that number 1. Then it's Rusty and Ward. Mears and Riggs. Riggs running that Harlem Globetrotters scheme. Looks pretty good out here on the concrete. That is 2 double numbers, the 88 and the 99. Jarrett and Burton. Burton's sponsorship woes come to a front here as he's running a completely black car. And it's Rudd Wimmer, McMurray, and then Gone in a special scheme. Labonte, last week's winner, down there. I don't know where he is, but he's down there. Running the Walbotron XL car for the first time this year. And then it's Mark Martin. And the other Labonte and Brian Vickers. And Stewart. And it's this Ruttman. It is Ruttman. 19 of Mayfield, the Daytona 500 winner. Kyle Petty. Craven, Nemechek, Sauter, and Sadler really down there. That is the 02 and the 94. 49, the 50. 40 starts last. $50 laps of action here. I think it's still on 3 times wear. I hope they don't pit, but we'll just have to see now, won't we? Going green is Ryan Newman. The Food City 500 is underway. Alrighty, the car is already all squirming across this track. Wanting spots as much as they can. They want to avoid the wrecks because they know they're coming. Yeah, Shelmerdine failed to qualify. Kenseth up high. LePage losing ground up high. Junior trying to get by Newman. Ward Burton getting antsy back there. Burton nearly got sent sideways as they're 3 wide back here. Bobby Labonte and Terry dropping spots up high early on. But they've not managed to wreck yet, so I'm very surprised about that. A clean one so far. There they go. It's Petty, Marlin, and Craven. Do we have a caution? No caution. Here comes Ryan Newman and the rest of the leaders. So even though these 3 wrecked, looks like they're still keeping it off one another so far. Vickers up high. Vickers is going to get turned by Mears. No, he doesn't. So, yeah, these guys not bringing out cautions just yet. I'm very surprised. The smoke clearing in the corner, and now Ryan Newman leads over Biffle, Kane, and Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, and the rest of your top 5. Kevin LePage, the little guy, still out front. He's in the top 10 as Andretti and Riggs all over the track. These guys need to keep it off one another yet. Now Burton trying to get sponsors. He wants into the top 10. Riggs up here as well in that special scheme. Now Andretti could drop back up high. Lights are still green. Now Andretti is going to get hooked by Kenseth. Kenseth actually does not hook him, but comes down in the side of Harvick. They're still 3 wide. Track really narrowing up in the corners. Look out. But Andretti just does the smart thing and drop back, and they're still caution free. Now Martin is going to get into the back of Harvick. Doesn't turn him, though. They're still side by side. Elliott Sadler's made up a ton of ground so far. He's into the high 20s. How have they not wrecked? Riggs still holding out in the top 10, but Burton thinks he's going to change that. Brendan Gaughan having a strong race in that 77. But out front, Johnny Sauter's a lapper. This could cause issues, but Newman still out front. He's catching Kyle Petty. I don't know what's up with Sauter. You must be multiple laps down. No, only 1, so something's gone amiss on that 30. Maybe he got spun as well, but no caution yet. There's Kevin LePage. He's still in the top 10 amidst all the chaos. But now Riggs losing spots up high. Oh, man. Waltrip up the track. Waltrip up the track. He loses it off the corner, and he saves it. Down on the apron. He's going to lose time. So far, they've kept it off one another mainly. Thankfully, honestly, as they're 3 wide back here, this could spell trouble. Mears trying to force the issue on Vickers up the track. Vickers, but no one's still there. They've kept it clean so far. Joe Ruttman, 22nd. He's having a strong run in that 0-9. But this is the back of the field now. Tony Stewart, 32nd, having a tough day. Now Newman trying to close up on the 40, but Biffle could have his hands full with Casey Kane here. Cautions breed cautions, but we haven't had any so far. That's why they aren't breeding. Oh, there's a wreck. Newman, the race leader in it. Kane, second place, and the race is in it. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Gaughan's getting damaged. Guys are all over the track. Sadler's up the track. Bonnie rejoining in the middle, and I jinxed it. I done jinxed it. Jarrett with damage as well. So, first and second in this race are out. Is that Robbie Gordon with damage? No, it's Petty from the earlier incident. Ryan Newman, your race leader, is out. We'll pause it to get replays. Nowhere to go for the 12. Here's how it all started. It's Hermie Sadler and Scott Wimmer. Sadler's going to get turned, and we slow it down. He's going to come back up across the track, looks like. Still going full speed. Nah, he's just going to turn right across into Wimmer. Slides up the track with a 50. And that's going to send 3 of them up into the wall. And now they slide down the track. Really making a hard turn. Craven and Marlins are incredible near misses. But bang! The 12 goes straight into the 50. And now Kane hits the 12 of Ryan Newman hard. All these guys up high somehow make it through. Kurt Busch still in it, but then a couple of guys come low here. The 99 to 77. And like Green and Harvick, these guys are just going to run up, and they're stopped. Now Gaughan, who does Gaughan get hit by? He gets hit by the 38 of Sadler. A tough break for them, but everybody else looks to be okay. But what happened to Dale? Dale Jarrett. Gonna run. He's gonna try and get by the 9 of Kane, but bang! Right into the back of him. Tough break. And that's everybody else. Gonna go live. I don't know if we're gonna see stops or not, because I don't know if I kept it on 3 times aware or not, but we'll see. At 16, Greg Biffle out in front after having a really tough day at, what's it called, Darlington. Lap 17 to 50. We've got 15 laps of green flag racing in, so that's pretty good. Oh, I think I got a sneeze coming on here. But 16:24, 8:48, and Kevin LePage is up to 5th. Robbie Gordon, Kurt Busch, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, and Michael Waltrip. Gaughan and Riggs were up there. They're down now to about 20th. Tough break for them. Hermie Sadler really damaged. He's going to cause havoc as a lap car eventually. Who is a lap car? The 30, the 22, the 45, and the 50 as the 12 and 88 have pulled off. I don't know. I think Casey Kane's going to retire too because he's pretty banged up. Probably not going to accelerate it here. Just let him roll, I say. So we don't have more guys dropping out of the race under yellow. And I'm not going to sneeze. Lights still on the pace car. Yeah, we're going to accelerate a lap. Lights are out now. I don't think anybody else retired due to mechanical issues under the yellow. I know that's a thing that happens, but now we're going to have 4 cars lining up on the inside line. 3 of them with damage. This could cause havoc on the absolute havoc on this field. Fastest lap goes to Matt Kenseth of 15.7. Where is Kenseth? He's down to 14th after that incident, but pace car will make the hard left. The 36 degrees of banking. Will they hurt more drivers today? We're back to green in the Food City 500 here from Bristol. That car's still running strong. It just depends who gets into who off the corner. Kurt Busch really up the track. Kurt Busch had a really bad restart. He's losing a bunch of ground up high. Now it looks. Kenseth all over the back of Mayfield. That could have been a contact. They don't wreck so far as LePage losing ground up high. Here comes Jeff Green. Is he going to turn the 15 of Waltrip? He doesn't. He doesn't. They're keeping it off each other more. They're still keeping it off each other. They haven't wrecked just yet. These guys really surprising me now. As LePage, he's going to fall out of the top 10. Up there, the air 3 wide. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, these guys 3 wide. They can't hold it 3 wide. So far, so good. Harvick could have been trouble. The 99 trying to get by the 50. Not quite. Stanton Barrett off the pace back there. Barrett's going to rejoin the pack's a slow car. Uh-oh. Sadler, look out. Sadler. Oh, he's going to get in Riz. He's going to ping pong up the 94. How did they not wreck there? I do not know. Very surprising. They're still not wrecking. But all this commotion has allowed Greg Biffle to pull away at the front. 1.5 second lead over Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon in third. And now 2 lap cars. 1 lap car. The 99 unsponsored, making it look like a lap car here. Oh, there goes Derek Cope. Open Cope gone up into the field, Robbie Gordon. And it's the big one. It's the big one. I knew it was too good to not wreck once again. Derek Cope, man. Right across the track in the rut, man, and that's everybody wrecked. Once again. Oh, man, I think Robbie Gordon got into more. Race leader Greg Biffle around. We're having more trouble as they race back to the line. What happened to Biffle now? Oh, Robbie Gordon was stopped in the middle of the track. Biffle, oh, man. All these guys, Gordon and Earnhardt Jr. and Biffle, the race leaders are all going to have damage. It's a curse to lead this race. And now everybody's trying not to wreck when they get back in line here. My goodness. We're pausing it here because we need to get a wreck of the initial incident. Man, oh man, Robbie Gordon, come on. Alright, here's the wreck. Cope just gonna slide up. Burton thinks he can get underneath him, but Cope comes back down. And Burton just got fed up with that 50 holding him up and just wrecks him into the inside wall. Now, at 50. Still carrying the lead. He's going to carry up right into Robbie Gordon, who gets hit by Ruttman. These two slide up the track, and now these two spawn in the middle of the track. It's blocked. Green hits it. Nemechek slides in. Rudd gets pushed in by Sadler, who gets pushed in by Schrader. And Robbie Gordon, the one kind of hit. And all these guys really undamaged so far. Now, Robbie... that engine starts smoking on that 31. All the rest of the guys get back going. Now Biffle riding back. He sees the wreck. He slows up to avoid. But here, he slides up the track because he can't hold it on the flat. He tries to turn it back down. Can't get by the 31. He gets pushed around. And then Junior Gonna come in, nowhere to go. Wimmer into the 16, and they're just gonna get clogged up there. A Tennessee traffic jam, I'd call it. But now, Junior actually technically leads a lap under yellow as, where's the 16? Is Biffle's down pit road, so he's going to have to probably give up the race lead under yellow here. As I think, yeah, Joe Ruttman's out. We have a whole slew of guys out here, so we're already past halfway. Kansas still fastest lap, but who's out? Ruttman's out. Robbie Gordon's out. Derek Cope's out. I don't know about anybody else. Probably not anybody else. Maybe Biffle, but I doubt it. So now, the two race leaders. Earnhardt Jr. with damage. Gordon doesn't have that much damage, but it's still there. At a track like this, it shouldn't really affect him then. Mark Martin. Matt Kenseth and Terry Labonte, the rest of your top 5. Then it's Johnson. 99. Jeff Burton. And Mayfield, LePage, and Michael Waltrip back in the 10th. He's having a good year so far. And last week's winner, Labonte. That it's the 77 have gone, the 97, the 41, and Nemechek, the rest of your top 15. Stanton Barrett, no, he's a lap car, thank goodness. I thought he was in the top 20. Craven's in the top 20, though. He's 18th. He's having a good day. Man, Herbie Sadler's up to 22nd. Heavy hitters in the back, mainly just Elliott Sadler, Scott Riggs. John Andretti, 0 luck. So I don't think SunTrust and Andretti are going to be happy with one another. And Andretti might be out at DEI. And I think the 30 and the 22 unlapped themselves, yes. These two unlapped themselves, so they're not going to restart on the inside line. It's only going to be Kyle Petty and Stanton Barrett on the inside line. But still, Wimmer with damage and Sauter likely with wounded engines so far this race. Just going to cause absolute chaos for the race leaders. But the Food City 400 is going to go green after they come off of turn number 4. Two rookies there on the high side. 30 and the 22. 30 of Sauter, the control car. We go back to green. Who's going to go which way? Earnhardt Jr. up high. Here comes Gordon down low. Mark Martin. Mark Martin's underneath Gordon. Mark Martin's going to nearly turn Jeff Gordon, but he keeps it off of him just barely. Just barely not wrecks Jeff Gordon. Off of 4. Is he going to wreck him here? No. Not going to wreck him just yet. Now Wimmer really holding up Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jr. going to get to Wimmer's inside, though, and cars are everywhere, but they're managing not to wreck. Kyle Petty, the lap car, going out front, and out of all this, here comes Mark Martin's going to take the race lead from Jeff Gordon, who's going to get held up on the high side by Johnny Sauter. Mark Martin leads. Junior real tail happy off the corner. That 8 car is now falling down to 4th. But Mark Martin leads. Matt Kenseth 2nd. Maybe trying to use Barrett as a pick on Mark Martin. Not going to get to him. Not going to get in the back of him off the corner either. As Terry Labonte. No, Labonte's 3rd. Labonte's 3rd. I'm reading the order wrong, but not for long, as here comes Jeremy Mayfield. Coming up for 4th. As, boy, Junior's getting unhappy. Held up by Stanton Barrett. He's trying to move the 94. He actually gives him the bumper going into the corner. And are we going to see more lap car chaos coming up here with Stanton Barrett? We shall see. Sadler way off the pace. Both Sadlers in this. Hermie and Elliott, the last 2 cars, basically in the train. But now, Martin trying to get around Kyle Petty. Is this going to cause Matt Kenseth to steal the lead away from the 6? Oh, not quite. We look back at the rest of the pack. Casey Mears. Casey Mears having a good run. McMurray was on the apron. Oh, they're wrecking. They're wrecking as Marlin blows an engine. They wrecked. They wrecked, but they didn't know the yellow's out. Yellow is out. Johnson. Jimmy Johnson has gone around. I thought they wrecked, but it's gone. Brendan gone too. I thought I saw gone on pit road. Man, these cars everywhere here in the back. Gordon and Johnson come down pit road. Boy, oh boy, what happened now? Marlin's engine blew up. Marlin. There. Oh. Marlin's engine didn't blow up. Is it Jeff Burton once again? It's Jeff Burton once again. Lap car on the high side. Stanton Barrett, the 48's going to slide down. Does a great job of avoiding Barrett, but just gets hooked by that black 99. That car's been a menace all day. Head on into the barrier for Jimmy. Now he's going to slide right back up into the pack. As you do, you know, right into his teammate Gordon and down across into Marlin. A 1-2 punch. Gordon with damage. Johnson is there. And then Jimmy blocking up the track into Schrader. All these guys down low trying to get by, but the 40's there. So they're going to really scramble coming off the corner because they're sliding up. And there's Jeff Gordon slow. Ooh, man. Andretti, that car was sideways. How did he not wreck? No, he's gonna. He tried to, but it's an incredible save by Andretti. The page is really falling off. I swear I thought I saw that 99 come down pit road. Maybe my eyes just deceived me. Yeah, they just deceived me. Alright. So out front, it's Mark Martin for Matt Kenseth, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeremy Mayfield, Bobby Labonte, your top 5. Casey Mears in the top 10, as well as Jeff Burton. Michael Waltrip still in 10th. Brendan Gaughan in 11th. He's having a good day. Ricky Craven really turning it around up in 12th. Kevin LePage, Ward Burton, John Andretti, and Schrader up there as well in the top 20. Anyone up from that? Jeff Gordon has actually pulled his car to the garage. He just said, what's the point? And parked it. And Marlin obviously had that engine smoke. I don't know if Johnson's going to go off or not. Johnson still seems like he's in it. Uh-oh, I just accelerated past the green. My bad. Alright, we're back racing. No one else DNF'd off pit road. That is my mistake, but since it's 10 to go, the lap cars restart in the order that they were. So Barrett really going to hold up Mears on back. Looks like, are we going to see any looks for the lead out of Matt Kenseth? Oh, Barrett's going to get wrecked by Mears. This is going to cause a late race caution. No, we're still green. We're still green. Vickers came down pit road. We're still green. Barrett just got dumped. No harm, no foul. That's a lap car. Doesn't really matter. But that's going to cause Casey Mears a good run. He's down to 9th from 7th. Boy, Gaughan stuck up high now. And Sauter and Wimmer just kind of just there. Murray trying to get 11th. And here comes Brian Vickers, who looks like he's got the infinite pit glitch. He's going to come up in front of all these guys and maybe hold them up eventually. But, he's doing fine. But now, 2 to go. Matt Kenseth trying to get this race win from Mark Martin. Can he do it? He's running out of laps. He's running out of laps. White flag next time. Bye for that 6th and 17. The 8 car with all that damage still in 3rd. Now, the white flag lap. And Kenseth, he's got one more chance to stick it underneath the nose of the 6th. He's not going to do it. It's going to be Mark Martin. Off of turn number 4, Mark Martin will win the Food City 500, a wild race at Bristol. Mayfield holds off in 4th. Labonte's come 5th and 6th. Mears gets a top 10. Waltrip gets a top 10. Kevin LePage gets 12th. Incredible. John Andretti gets a top 15 with all that. You gonna see anybody run into the pit wall like idiot? Nah. Rusty in 26th. Ooh. What are these idiots doing on pit road? I don't know. My goodness. So yeah, that's gonna have to do it from Bristol. A wild, wild, and wacky race. That's for sure. But yeah, Mark Martin led after the shenanigans with Johnson and Gordon. And Biffle there in pit road. I spilled water all over myself. That's lovely. Yeah, Herbie Sadler gets a top 25 out of all that. Wow. Man, Kevin LePage in 12th. That is something. Man, my seriousness in that race just like fell through. Oh my goodness. Alright. One last point. Oh, you all want to see the points. Kind of my job here. Food City. City of food there in Bristol. So who led the most laps in that race? That'd be very interesting to see. It was close, but Martin led 17, Biffle 13, Newman led, what's it called? 14. Yeah, that's how numbers work. How long have I been live? For an hour 20 something. Alright, that's fine. Matt Kenseth holds on to the points lead. Wait a minute. Whoa, my goodness. That really messed with my brain. I didn't think the results were in for a second because Matt Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have not changed one bit. It's still 49 back to second. Kenseth still leads. Earnhardt Jr., Mayfield, Johnson, Kurt Busch still your top 5. Mark Martin up 7 points. He is up to 9th. Sadler down to 10th from leading the points at the start of the video. Ricky Rudd up 3. Labonte up 6. Jeff Burton up 5. He's back at 21st, so he's had a very up and down season. Waltrip's only 24 points out of the chase. Mears right there, too. LePage only gained 2 spots, but he's still in the top 30 of points. Man, look at this. Kevin LePage is 10 points back from Greg Biffle, and he's actually beating out Kevin Harvick in the standings. That is incredible. But Andretti's still with 5 races ahead of Kyle Petty and Derek Cope in the points. Bill Ruttman up in the 40th. Barrett actually 43rd in the standings, jumping a bunch of guys that don't make races. Dave Blaney the lowest with 2 starts. Ugh. Yeah, but that's what you get when you're terrible. Alright, goodbye, chat. Thank you all for coming out. As you always do. Yep, that's gonna do it. From the Bristol Motor Speedway, the Darlington Raceway, and the Atlanta Motor Speedway. See ya, there's a update video coming out soon, so yeah, be there for that. Alright, I need to stop